All right, some serious news. The man accused of killing 2 Israeli embassy staffers in Washington, D.C. could face the death penalty for what the Justice Department is calling an act of terrorism.
Madeline Rivera joins us now from outside the Capitol Jewish Museum with the latest. Madeline.
Good morning, guys. Investigators say the charges they brought against the suspect yesterday are only the beginning, and there could be more coming depending on the evidence.
This is a horrific crime, and these crimes are not going to be tolerated by me and by this office. Anti-Semitism will not be tolerated, especially in the nation's capital. Now, we're going to continue to investigate this as a hate crime and a crime of terrorism.
So for now, 31-year-old Elias Rodriguez is facing 2 counts of first-degree murder along with firearm charges. Court papers present the shooting as calculated. Authorities say Rodriguez flew to D.C. from Chicago on May 20th with a gun. He told police he had bought a ticket for the event at the Capitol Jewish Museum 3 hours before it began on Wednesday. Surveillance video showed Rodriguez shooting the victims, 26-year-old Sarah Milgram and 30-year-old Yaron Lashinsky, both staffers for the Israeli embassy. As Milgram tried to crawl away, Rodriguez approached her and fired at her again, emptying out more than 20 rounds in total in the attack. He allegedly told police, "I did it for Palestine, I did it for Gaza, I am unarmed." Rodriguez was holding a red scarf identified by one witness as a keffiyeh, and as officers were escorting Rodriguez from the museum, he shouted, "Free Palestine." Moving forward, police will be speaking to the people who knew Rodriguez, trying to learn more about him. They'll be combing through his social media accounts and going through writings that are believed to have been published by him. They're also asking for the public's help to help fill in the gaps between May 20th, when the suspect arrived here in D.C., and May 21st, when that shooting happened at the Capitol Jewish Museum behind me. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Maddie.
Thanks, Maddie.
I just got to say, this guy is a coward because he shot him in the back, execution style. That's why he's getting charged with first-degree murder. Probably is going to get the death penalty.
Americans' response here, or some are Americans, a lot aren't, to what Israel is doing has turned into all these pro-Palestinian, which are now pro-Hamas protests on universities where they're literally almost physically attacking Jewish students. Well, Trump administration says no more. Secretary no more is that universities need to get your act together, and the Trump administration has terminated Harvard's student visas.
It's also, I just love common sense, right? And if you're a country that wants to do harm to the United States, would you not use our universities as a way to try to do harm to the country? And look, over the past 4 years under the Biden administration, we talked a lot about illegal immigration, and clearly everyone's seeing the impact, and also that playing out a role in the election, with immigration being the second most important issue to voters. But now we need to have a conversation about legal immigration. And who are we letting into this country? And what does that vetting process look like for some of these visas to allow some of these individuals to come to the United States who, by the way, hate us, hate our values, hate what we believe here? And why are we letting them into the United States, Joey?
Yeah, I don't think the Trump administration is going to tolerate it much anymore. These are some of the things that they're doing to put universities in check so that they actually care about this country. They've revoked the authorization to enroll international students. They've suspended $2.7 billion worth of grants and $1 billion for research partners, launched at least 8 investigations, asked the IRS to revoke the university's tax-exempt status. Now, understand that most of these universities, especially the Ivy League, I went to Georgetown. They have a multi-billion-dollar trust. It's not like
endowment.
Endowment. It's not like these universities are going to be bankrupt and can't provide scholarships. It's that they're going to have to be more diligent in who they provide scholarships to, and they're going to have to dig into some of that money that's just actually, ironically, working in a capitalist system to earn more money for them, which is what they're doing with those endowments as opposed to taxpayer dollars.
The message is very simple. It's coming from the president. It's coming from the DHS secretary. Get your act together.
Yeah.
Here's the secretary.
Harvard brought these consequences upon themselves. They have promoted and allowed violent activity on campus. They have allowed anti-Semitism, participation with CCP and Chinese infiltration and influence on their campus, and they haven't protected their students. This should be a warning to every other university to get your act together. Get your act together, because we are coming to make sure that these programs that you are facilitating an environment where students can learn, where they're safe, and that they're not discriminated against based on their race or their religion.
Public News, Michael Schellenberger is here. So there's a serious trend going on just this year, 2025, we haven't seen a lot of pushback. Why, Mike?
Hey, Jesse, great to be with you. Yeah, I mean, it's remarkable, isn't it? We haven't seen a significant left or progressive leader come forward like a Martin Luther King would have come forward and demand nonviolence and emphasize the importance of nonviolence. We're dealing with a power vacuum here, Jesse, where the left has been so badly defeated and discredited after a decade of calling Trump and his supporters fascists and Nazis, saying that civilization is doomed because of climate change, that capitalism is ruining the planet. They've used extremely violent rhetoric for a decade, and now that they're out of power, the desperation is setting in.
Would you call for Democrat leaders throughout the country, or religious leaders, any sort of leadership, to say something that actually makes an impact? Because if you just have an assistant tweet something, I condemn all violence. I mean, what does that do?
No, that's right. I mean, look, the Democrats, they really need to call for a day of peace. They need to demand nonviolence. They need to get back in touch with that. But the party has been radicalized, Jesse. I mean, this is something that we've been seeing happening for a really long time, you know, which was all a hoax. That's got to stop now, Jesse. I just think there needs to be a very strong message that somebody on the left, Obama, Pelosi, Schumer, they need to make it very clear that their party rejects violence. I'm kind of shocked that they haven't done so already.
What do you think drives the destruction? The blowing up of cars, the destruction of cities, the tearing down of statues, the murder, the mayhem. What is that about?
I mean, it's the French Revolution all over again, or the Chinese Cultural Revolution. It's an attempt to kind of destroy the past, to sort of condemn the past, condemn the United States, which is the most anti-racist nation that's ever existed. We fought a civil war that killed hundreds of thousands of people in order to end slavery, and all the things that the left claims to care about, but they've become convinced that the United States, that Western civilization, and that humankind are functionally evil. They're in the grip of a very dangerous, nightmarish, and so the Democrats, look, they're going to destroy their party. I mean, you're just going to end up having a different party than Democrats in 5 or 10 years if you don't get a change.
I think you nailed it. Very, very smart analysis, Mike.
Endowment. The university's endowment allows it to fund scholarships and research. Infiltration. The infiltration of spies into the government was discovered last year. Condemn. The international community condemned the attack. Combing through. The police are combing through the evidence to find clues. Put someone something in check. The new policies are designed to put the spending in check. In the grip of. The country is in the grip of a severe economic crisis.
If you enjoy this content, please consider subscribing to my channel to stay up to date with future videos. Thank you for watching.